This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to episode 34 of Too Old to Game. I'm your fear-filled host, Dave Oster, and I'm joined today by the Mark Weber.
What's up, Demise?
And the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
It's nice to have everybody together. Can we just take a moment and appreciate? We got a full table, we got a camera. Like,
how long ago has it been since we had a full table?
About a month.
Has it? Has it really been that long?
It was me and you, and then it was me and you. So 3 weeks.
Then,
maybe 3 weeks, maybe longer.
Wow.
It's been a bit.
And this won't be good podcast for the people who are watching on YouTube, or Dave, who's across the table and can't see my laptop. But imagine you're just in your house and you're like, this little fucking Pokemon here is just sitting in your living room.
Oh my god.
Oh man, Mark bashing Sword and Shield already.
But that's what we're talking today. Mark will get his chance to bash Sword and Shield if he so chooses. He'd be wrong, but he can do it. That's his job on the show.
I'm not gonna bash it. There's a lot of things I'm excited about, and there's some things that I wish they had done more with.
So today we are talking about the Nintendo Direct for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Exciting news that broke this week. And then we're going to get into a bit of a rant off here, I feel. Ricky's got to share his thoughts on wrapping up Kingdom Hearts 3 and the DLCs. Mark's got some thoughts on either his Switch or his hatred of Star Wars, the lack of Star Wars games. Aster's that. And I've got the week 1 roundup. Shit, is it week 2 already? Of Anthem. That's how much I care about that game already. So let's get into it before it gets too long. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new, beautiful Pokemon game that's going to be dropping soon. It looks amazing. I absolutely adore the style of art they took with it, the camera angle change. I just feel like it's coming to like a better state. Like I almost want to play it. I told Mark this, before we recorded. I was like, we're almost hitting that like Fable-esque state of Pokemon. Like this would be pretty cool. I like the art direction. I like the new starting Pokemon. I know there's a lot of hatred over a certain adorable tadpole that he deserves.
His anxious tadpole.
Stupid ass hands. He doesn't have fingers.
He's a tadpole.
His hands are just the letter C, essentially.
What's an Onyx hands look like, huh?
Onyx don't have no hands.
He doesn't, because he's a giant fucking rock lizard, or rock
Snake.
dragon. Snake works.
I'm a snake.
But like,
oh my god, no!
It's just funny to me. You see Score Bunny's hands. I'm gonna get these names wrong. Score Bunny's hands and his fingers. He can grab shit. You see Grookey's hands and fingers. He can grab whatever the hell he wants. And then Sobel's out there and he's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm just gonna kind of thumb you."
Until he evolves.
We don't know. We don't know what his evolution is like. He might never have fingers.
I think the fingers will spread. I think it's a spread.
His second one, he's probably gonna get webbed toes. That's probably what it's gonna be.
He's a tad. That's what happens with tadpoles.
To me, it's just funny because like I mean I do think he's a cute looking little guy, but like it's just the fact that he looks like he's gonna cry.
You look at the face, the mouth is open. He's
like he looks like he's about to cry, and you're gonna be the asshole who's like, "Go fucking fight that thing." Kill it.
He's just a little anxious.
No, there's
tadpole.
no killing. No killing.
They faint.
They faint. Yeah. So there's just a bunch of fainted Pokemon in the wilderness waiting for someone to heal them.
It's funny. I had one of those thoughts like, God, it was back.
Nothing actually makes sense in Pokemon's universe.
No, there's that, because that also gives you down like the deep dive of like weird conspiracy theories in the Pokemon universe, which I never recommend that to anyone. That was 4 hours of my life that
actually
I never got
interesting.
back. Oh, they're interesting, but just 4 hours I never got back. But like, I'm like, what would this be like if I actually was out there battling and like I was like grinding up and I'm like, I murdered like 37, I forget what it was,
right
at the time, and I was like, so there'd just be like a bunch of Pokemon passed out around me as I take steps forward and backwards 16 times,
and you just keep going,
piles of them,
and then you just leave.
Yeah, I'm like, I would feel like a horrible person.
It's
like could you leave a dog on the side of the road? No.
Right? The people who catch and release fish, and it's like you release them back because like when they're in the water they can heal themselves, but for you at the Pokemon you're like, all right, see all y'all later.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I hope you heal.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of these other bigger predator type of Pokemon, because I don't know if Pokemon are predators.
Pokemon?
I mean, they're animals. They must,
they
right?
Eat berries.
Yeah, like what do they eat? Because if any of them are
berries and steroids,
carnivores, they would eat the smaller ones. It's like how a coyote will eat
This
a
is getting
squirrel.
real dark
And
real
rare,
quick, boys.
don't forget rare candies.
Right, well, that's
Yeah.
steroids. That's why
Okay.
I'm lumping in a lot of like the X speeds, all
Is
that
it
kind of
is it
stuff.
steroids or is it just creatine? Is it like taking creatine?
I mean, it's performance enhancers.
Okay.
I don't know if they're
Is it just protein? Like it just makes them big
Some
and
protein?
strong? Some protein for my Mankey over here, or for my Machamp.
Machamp.
My Machamp needs some protein. He'd be the bro Pokemon. We all know it.
I don't know if there's a bro Pokemon. Well, I guarantee you there
It's
is. There's like
probably-
1,000
yeah,
of
it's
them,
probably
so
Machamp.
It's probably
there's got to be at least a Machamp. But yeah, no, I mean, I think they killed on the adorable factor to the starter Pokemons. Like, it's been a long time since I actually really liked the starter Pokemon from a looks and theme point, and I know we're still very early on, and we don't know. There was rumors about them being like, multiple type Pokemon, but even if it's just one type, even if we're just going simple, grass, fire, water, like, I like this group. I'm actually pretty happy with them. I was not a huge fan of the Torchic starting group. Torchic, Chikorita, and... Or am I mixing gens already? I already feel
You
bad.
are going way back. You're going
I
like
am.
too old.
That's the problem with 8 now.
We're too old to game.
yeah, you're going. That is Ruby and Sapphire. I want to say.
I'm looking it up.
Because I went with. I just called it Chikorita. That was the Leaf version. That was the only Leaf version I went with.
That was Trico and Mudkip was with Torchic.
Okay.
Yes, and that I did not like Mudkip. I did not like Torchic.
Really?
Trico was actually kind of cool.
Really, I went with Torchic.
Torchic was cool.
The li-
Blaziken was awesome, but
The
like
little.
well,
It's got the one leg.
one leg down, one leg up. Yeah,
it's
chicken.
like a chicken.
Yeah. Like that was. I
I'm a
didn't
big
like
fan
it.
of chickens.
Didn't like it a ton.
But like I usually
Yeah.
go with the fire type. Like Charmander was my jam.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
fire type are usually the most badass.
They're the BAMF Pokemon.
I mean, you're going to be
Usually
the one...
the easiest
Like,
road,
you're going to
too.
be the leaf
To start the
Pokemon.
game.
Like, I had to think back to Bulbasaur, and it's like, you're going to be the guy who's got a giant, like, ball on his back that's a flower. No. You
I
can
mean-
maybe be Squirtle. Squirtle's kind of cool.
Did you see that? It was like some meme video about like the starting Pokemon like all like charged up, and it was like the Charizard blowing a flame,
Yeah.
Blastoise firing the water cans, and Venusaur just standing there soaking up the sunlight. It's like, ooh, I'm looking at you
Enjoying
so
his
good.
Yeah.
So no, I mean like yes, there are some theme issues with some Pokemon in the past, but
Plus, like,
I love it.
the reality of, if this was real life, which it's not,
Yeah.
you would pick the fire Pokemon every time, right? Because
Fire's
just the
so much more valuable.
destruction that
Yeah.
you could cause.
100%.
Well, and not just that. If it was not just a game, you would need like survival things. Fire
Yeah.
would come in handy.
I've been watching a weird amount of
actually,
Naked and Afraid.
Water would come in
survival is
handy,
probably
too.
A little bit
Well,
better,
is the
but-
water drinkable?
Oh, that's the question.
just salt water coming right out, so it burns.
Think about how much of an asshole move would that be if your Pokemon was a saltwater Pokemon.
That'd be great.
Oh my god, that'd be horrible.
He's like, ow, paper cut, and then bam. Because he's an asshole Pokemon, and he didn't give him treats that morning, and he's really mad about it.
Is it bad that like my favorite, one of the most iconic Pokemon is an asshole Pokemon? It was Squirtle Squad Squirtle.
Yeah, that's true.
Like his whole gimmick was to be a dick.
Here's the thing
That's great,
I
the
wonder with
sunglasses.
Pokemon. How, and there might be an actual answer, so
Yeah.
comment section, feel free.
Absolutely.
How actually intelligent are
Varying
Pokemon?
varying levels of intelligence, and it's not just like, oh well, Torchics are smart. I know I'm hung up on Torchic.
Well, it depends.
But
Like look
It
at the
just depends which
Pikachu.
names you remember.
Certain Pokemon, they all have varying degrees of intelligence, and it's not based purely on their thing.
Like
so I've been
Ash's
told.
Pikachu was way smarter than normal Pikachu.
Correct. That's
Because
the
in that
shit
case, you
behind
could
it.
have, like, I imagine my dog, who's not very smart.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he actually was smart, and he actually is, like, he's really good at picking up tricks. Like, we taught him how to roll over in,
Yeah.
like, a day. It was great.
But there's some of them doofus dogs out
Yeah,
there,
but
and
then,
they're
like,
so lovable.
he sits there and he stares at his treats. And it's like, if you were a smart Pokemon, you'd figure out how to get into the treats.
Yeah.
And you would just,
If you had them
Eat all of
opposable
them.
thumbs.
yeah, right? Yeah, Sobel's going to sit there and just thumb at it all day,
But
wondering
Grookey
why it doesn't
just gonna
work. Right?
open up
'Cause
cabinets.
he's mischievous.
He
what they
is
said.
mischievous. Oh, you see the eyes? They're shifted up. Yeah, he's a trouble starter.
He's a grass monkey, a funky monkey, you could
my
say. I'm really excited about that, actually. I like
right.
to make fun of Pokemon things because it's just
It's
it's low hanging fruit,
but you gotta admit, like,
but it's gonna be really cool, and I'm gonna buy it probably day one.
100% day one. This is like, I know Ricky, you were very
Pre-ordered.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be pre-ordered.
It's going to be pre-ordered, but I know you were a big anti the last game that came out. I can't.
X and Y?
No,
no.
Let's Go
Let's
Pikachu
Go.
and Let's Go Eevee. That
Yeah.
wasn't Pokemon. That was Pokemon. That was Pokemon on my phone, but on my Switch. That's what that was.
We almost bought it.
Pokemon Go on the Switch. That's what it is, Mark.
When I got my Switch, I was with my wife, and she loves Eevee. Eevee's her favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
And she was like, Eevee's on the cover of that game. Why is Eevee on the cover of that game? What is that game? And I'm like, we don't want it.
Yeah, we don't want
Eevee's like the ultimate like
Just get it
trap
on your
for me,
phone
man.
for free.
It's like you got to decide what he's gonna be, man. I would just I can't do it anymore. can't choose.
That's why you
Eevee.
just get all of them.
There's so many now. There's so many different
right.
evolutions.
You just get them all.
Yeah.
Got to catch them all, Dave.
Yeah,
gotta
gotta catch them
all.
all.
I feel like that's a catch line from something.
Gotta catch them all.
Are we? Have we crossed 1,000 Pokemon by now? We have to. Have
This
crossed 1,000,
generation
right?
will cross 1,000.
Okay.
This upcoming generation will cross 1,000.
Insane. Are all
yeah.
1,000 Pokemon in my game? Can I catch all 1,000, or do they still do that trick where it's like
I don't
you
think
can only catch these ones and this one and these ones and that one?
They're gonna have ones where it's like, hey, this Pokemon is exclusive to
DLC.
Shield. No, Shield. Where
Yeah, 'cause they
this
usually do
one's exclusive to Sword. Now the thing that I was thinking about and makes my decision harder for which game I will eventually get is like back in the day it was, oh my god, I need both of them, or oh my god, Dave, you got red, I need to get blue.
Well, that's, you guys were already sorting out.
That
I'm
like,
yeah.
the reason why was, okay, we got the connector cables, we're gonna connect our Game Boys and trade. Well, now with the Switch, are they gonna have it to where
You gotta be able to just trade over the internet.
Well, exactly. So it's like, you know what? Doesn't matter which one I get because I'm gonna find somebody in this vast world that
and the
has
3DS
black
market that's about to be
I
created.
would say the 3DS had the like internet trading, which was just like cheating. It just outright was cheating at that point.
Because I mean, in that case, I mean, it's like Eve Online in that case of like, you know, when people are gonna get real money. It won't be like that. Nobody's gonna care that much about Pokemon, but it'd be kind of funny if it was.
That'd be pretty cool.
Really want that Pikachu.
But let's talk a little bit about the landmass that we're going to be going after this time. It'll be
Galar,
and they're saying it looks a little bit like maybe you know a UK potential.
The first thing I thought of, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
Is and it's because Game of Thrones is based off of England.
Correct.
It's got on the side, it's got the little things coming off of it, and I'm like, oh look, there's the fingers from Game of Thrones. Maybe it's just because Game of Thrones is only like a month away.
Oh no, you're scary, right? Like I'm now looking at the map and I'm looking at a second map.
It looks a lot like.
Yes, they're all based on the same place. They're all the same place because you have King's Landing even. There's a cutout for King's Landing. You have basically the north where you know there's a mountain range, not a wall.
We're really just missing Dorne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we had Dorne, it'd be perfect.
There might be a second island soon. That'll be a DLC.
Well, Dorne's the bottom.
I'm sorry, no, not yeah. I'm thinking of
Westeros.
Eastros, not Eastros.
Essos.
Essos. Should have just been God.
Yeah.
So no, I think that is kind of funny. That it is going to look exactly. You're right. It's just eerie now.
Yeah. Once you see it, you can't. It's one of those you can't unsee it now.
It's just permanently there. But are you excited to explore this new
I love
continent?
it. I absolutely like. That was my favorite thing from the Pokemon Direct was the map, because it's like, I don't know if it truly does, but I looked at it and I was like, it's different than what I'm used to.
It looks Zelda-ish too,
A
doesn't it?
little bit. And because in the other ones, it was like, okay, you're going to go up and around and then in a circle and then you're going to come back, but then you're going to go off to this, like, okay, you got back to here, you're going to go back to this, like, oh, it's over here where the Elite Eight is, or the Final Four. Whereas this one,
Elite Eight?
I don't know where, the Elite Eight. I don't know
Wrong show.
if this is going to be boring, because I'm assuming you start at the bottom and you're going to work your way to the top.
To here.
I don't know. I think I wonder about that because
Because it looks like
there's
down
like
at
a
the
metropolis at the top kind of thing.
But it's Pokemon. So, well, I mean, I guess what Dave's right. You could start at the top and go down to the bottom, I guess. But
I just
I'm
say
guessing
because
that
like
it's gonna be
down at the bottom looks like where your
Small
house would
farm
be,
town, you know.
and then up at the top looks where it's like, I'm gonna be the Pokemon champion.
I mean, Pokemon is just a travel log of like you just gotta follow the path and you have to, because it's it's one of those games where the enemies get tougher as you go. It's the scaling level system. You know, you can't just have Breath of the Wild. You want to go that way or you want to go that way.
Yeah.
You know, have fun.
Yeah, that would definitely take away the challenge. That would take away what makes Pokemon unique.
Like
Yeah,
I got to this gym. I have to go back and grind to get my Pokemon up to the level 40 so that I can beat this gym.
It's an RPG.
It is, and it's a lovely one. I mean, like, I feel like Pokemon wasn't the first to bring it to the table, but they have mastered the art of marketing and replayability. And I mean, can we all just admit, like, Twitch Plays Pokemon was a worldwide obsession.
Yeah,
literally, random people on the internet inputting commands beat Pokemon.
Start over. Delete.
They beat it after it kind of got ruined a little bit. The original chaos of Pokemon, of Twitch Plays Pokemon was amazing.
Yeah.
When it was every single person affected what happened.
Yep.
So it was impossible to make progress.
Yeah.
Then they were like there was like what was it, like a voting system kind of thing or whatever it was, where it kind of took away the pure chaos of everything.
To where they actually were able to progress in the game.
Yeah, people were able to kind of collectively make things happen. As opposed to me just spamming start.
All the progress was made between like 2 and 6 a.m. I feel.
Yeah,
It was so much fun. Honestly, that was so cool because obviously that was a community event and it was live and everyone in the world got to interact.
And that's the thing. That's one of this is talking about kind of TV, you know, where it's like the reason why the Super Bowl is such a big deal. The reason why these live musicals are a big deal is because we as a society don't have those same like collective events as when maybe our grandparents were around and you had 2, 3, 4 channels and you picked one of them so everybody watched, you know, I don't know, I Love Lucy. Pick whatever you want. Everybody watched it so everybody could talk about it at the same time. That's what kind of like what that was. It was a subculture kind of thing. It was for gamers. But that's what that was. We all experienced it at the same time.
And ATV, everyone's fucking hero at the end of the day. Like, oh man, it was such a cultural phenomenon. And I feel like it renewed a lot of fan love for Pokemon, and like Pokemon Go was just insane. Another community worldwide event, and I wonder if they can pull another rabbit out of the hat with this one. Maybe a score bunny out of the hat. Maybe because it's like this is the first one where you truly get to experience Pokemon from a different angle and experience the world differently. And I wonder what they're going to do for, like Ricky said, whether it's the trading, whether it's the battles. How is it going to be different to interact with other people in this world?
Yeah.
Well, and not just that, like you mentioned the graphics earlier, where this is now the next progression, where if you think back Red and Blue, it's 2D, but there is like, for example, with Red on my Game Boy Color, it's a red guy on my screen. Like everything is tinted red, where if I'm blue, everything was tinted blue. Then getting to, I believe it was yellow was the first one where it's like, holy shit, this is in color. And then that went into like silver and gold and stuff. But then eventually we got to the point where it's like, oh, shoot, it's on my 3DS and it's still 2D, but it kind of looks a little 3D-ish.
Yeah.
With like an actual person running along. And now this is just the next evolution of, here you go, here's a 3D world. It's not just a 2D world with this 3D person running through it. No, it is a 3D world that you can kind of interact with. And the image that was like, I looked at it and was like, whoa, I can't wait to check that out in game is they're looking at a mountain in the distance and it's got like a signs thing to it to where it's like, oh, is that like a missing no kind of thing? Like,
it's like crop signs
for
crop
potential
signs with Pokemon. Legendary Pokemon that we're all hoping.
But I wonder with those. I'm glad you bring that up because, like I said, very excited to experience
like,
what this is
going to be
like.
hidden Easter eggs within
Oh,
this?
there should be.
God, yeah.
But the question is going to be, how far are they going to let us take that? You know, I mentioned Breath of the Wild.
It's like the OG version. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you had to move the truck to get the Eevee, right?
Yep.
Or to get to the Mew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally was a thing, guys. Totally was a thing.
But like, I think of Breath of the Wild, not that this is going to be anything like Breath of the Wild, but just of the evolution of the last game we got before Breath of the Wild was a Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
And that big evolution, even if you just go from Skyward Sword into Breath of the Wild, those are huge. That's a huge leap in the game. When we go from Pokemon, and yes, we had Let's Go and we had Pokemon Go and all that stuff, but I'm going to talk about X and Y. And we had, which one was it? Was it Alpha Sapphire? Was that the one that came out recently?
I think so.
I don't even remember.
But anyways, we had those ones, and we're making this. And there's no doubt that this is a big leap. But I look at these pictures.
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, that's what it was.
Because it was X and Y 2013.
Yeah.
Then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's what you were thinking of in 14. Then Sun and Moon 16. Then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in 17.
Yeah.
Before the Let's Go craze.
So we have these. And the thing about Pokemon that people complained about when it moved to 3DS is like, yes, it looks a little bit more 3D. We're going in this direction, this realistic direction. But I still can't get past this slightly darker colored grass. And I look at the map now, and you notice tons of hills, tons of fences, tons of stones blocking your path. And I wonder, when it starts looking like this, is that something that fans are still going to be okay with, that you are railroading me through this thing, which is or
is it going to look like, well, why can't I get over this?
Why can't I jump?
Yeah.
Why can't I jump on this hill? Or it's a slanted hill. I could walk up it. How much are they going to let me do? Because if they let me do some of that, that's fantastic. Then we've made a great evolution in this game. But if it's, that I still can't walk on this differently colored grass, or suddenly the differently colored grass is just hills. There's hills everywhere, no matter where we are. Then it's like, yes, we've made some advances, but really you've just made it prettier. Which there's value to just making it prettier. But you can do so much more with a Pokemon game, and I'm hoping they go for that.
Yeah, but I don't really think, I don't even think that way, because for me, I think of what is a Pokemon game. Like, for me, I think if they railroad me and say I can't do that, I'm not going to be upset, because in my mind,
that's a
Pokemon game. Now, if I had never played a Pokemon game before, I might have that other side of it, and that's the part of when they said in the Direct how we're bringing players who have played this, new players, like players that started with Let's Go.
Yeah.
That to me is going to be interesting for the players that have never played a Pokemon game. So like the kid generation that's coming up that have never played a real Pokemon game up until this point. Is it going to be like when I played, where it was like, oh, that's a game? Or are they going to say, hey, this is not like any of the game. Like, I just played Kingdom Hearts. It ain't like this. Why is it not like this? Why can't I do what you're saying I can't do?
Yeah, and I think, and for me, I totally understand the expectation of this is what a Pokemon game is. But when you start... I mean,
we've been bred on it since, what, 96?
Yeah. When you start presenting it like this and it starts looking like this, you start to have different expectations. And they're not making any promises to us at all. But you sit there and you look at it and you're like, wow, we're almost getting there where I can live almost like if you take Pokemon Go and make it an actual video game instead of just like a experience.
And closer.
Like, can we get that real world feeling Pokemon?
Pokemon virtual reality. I do think we're pretty close, to be honest with you. I think that we're within a decade at this point of having like a legitimately playable version of it, where it would be pretty much interactive. Because it's weird, because I feel like VR technology is already like kind of like it hit that spike, and now it's like, all right, what are we gonna do with this? And people are looking, and that's why I'm worried about this. It's a fad, but in gaming, I think there's so much more potential for ways to play that we're held up by technology still. So I think in the next 10 years we're gonna have a functionality boost and be able to pull out some fun stuff. So I'm hoping for that. Mostly, though, with Pokemon, that'd just be dope. I'm just a big fan of the fact that they not admitted, but like kind of went back to Pokemon Let's Play Pikachu, Let's Play Eevee didn't have gym battles. Cool. It had its own system, but this is the legit game. This has gyms again.
And those gyms look badass.
They do absolutely.
They look awesome.
I'm super interested to see what kind of character, like, all right, I'm going to be weird for a sec.
What kind of types we see within those gyms?
Yeah, I was like, do you think they're going to go with a pattern for the enemy types for the gyms?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're going to go like OG, or do you think they're going to like? Because I know it's pretty much they've mixed it up a little bit every time as to what order works best for them and how do they want to challenge you. But like, if you had to look at them and just take a guess, just toss out into the ether, like first gym, what do you think it's going to be? What kind of type?
One of them is going to be a leaf gym.
Well, that's the first one, right?
So everybody's going with Scorch Bunny, right?
Yeah.
You get that easy pass to start the game.
Easy.
It was like red and blue, where it was like, hey, do I go Squirtle because it gets me an easy pass through that first one, or do I go Bulbasaur? Because Bulbasaur does good against rock.
So second.
But then, no, it's ultimate against the second because water and leaf, it's like game over.
Right.
Like Bulbasaur was the one where it's like an easy pass through, too.
But if you're a real boss, you went Charmander.
Oh, I always did.
Yeah, go with the fire.
Because you got to get the Charizard.
I mean, the storytelling in that fucking anime, man. Like, that little flame, he kept that flame alive. Onto the blanket with the rain coming down.
I hated that.
Rewatching that.
I hated that trainer.
I know.
That one was sad.
I'll come back for you.
Almost on the same level as that Futurama episode.
The dog that waited.
It's almost on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's touching. We're getting a little deep in the feels.
Right.
Do you think they're gonna have good storytelling in this one? Because I feel like storytelling in Pokemon just sort of, I mean, not the TV shows, but like the actual games, it's been a little hit or miss for me. Like I feel like it almost is an afterthought. The game, I know what I'm going for. I'm going for cute Pokemon. I'm going for battles. I'm not a guy who's gonna max out EVs like crazy. Like that's not. I don't go min max in Pokemon. For whatever reason, that's just not my jam. I'll do it in Diablo. I won't do it in Pokemon.
What twist are they gonna have? Like I think back to the first time I played a Pokemon. And getting that twist at the very end of close to the end where you go to fight Giovanni.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to beat you because I need the last battle. Holy shit, you are also the leader of Team Rocket.
Right.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that I've had a gripe against Pokemon games. It always seems the same, where it's like, well, we're going through, we got this Team Rocket-like figure that's here to spoil the party. And I believe it was, I'm trying to think, was it Ruby and Sapphire where they were like, instead of one Team Rocket, we're going to have two, and they're going to hate each other, and you're going to be caught in the middle.
Well, yeah, because you had to choose, and that was the, I shouldn't have brought up because I don't remember Pokemon names. I can picture them in my mind, what they are, like the legendary Pokemon. The whale and the
Gordon was the red one, and then the blue one. I gotta actually look up the blue one.
Whatever it was.
I didn't play most Pokemon generations.
Oh my god, you missed out on amazing childhood then, Mark. By childhood, I mean adulthood, because we were basically adults the entire.
Yeah, pretty much. I just kind of feel like Pokemon to me, I would always I would either just play a little bit of it and be like, oh, this is basically the same thing still.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, I played this.
Yeah, you don't have to read the game to play the game, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But do you think that now with the more I guess enveloping gameplay of actually being able to kind of run through the world and see things from a different perspective, do you think that now that puts a new premium on storytelling in Pokemon?
It depends what they do with it. I mean, if they decide to let us get into it, then yeah. But if they're still going to say there's a fence there, you can't go past that fence.
You and your fucking fences, man.
But I mean, that's what the game. I just think it's. I harp on it because I think it's such a missed opportunity if they don't truly let you explore the world.
Yeah.
And maybe they start small. Maybe they start small and give you the same thing that you've always had. And then once you get into the next area, it's like, oh, now I can wander around this forest in any direction I want. Hopefully they let me move the camera around, because that's been a thing that people have been observing of. It didn't look like you can move the camera.
Yeah, but the thing I look at that is it's our first look at it. Let's see what other looks we get. Like, the one gripe that I heard people say was the world looks kind of empty. Like, there's not enough NPCs. But it's like, oh, did they not put a ton of NPCs in right now? Because they just wanted us to see what the world will be like and not have it seem super cluttered the first time we see it.
Possible, but at the same time, it could also be that, like, we're kind of seeing, like, this little rural village, and maybe when we get into a city, maybe we'll have more. Could also just be they didn't really think about it. You know, there's plenty of options for it.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, or it could just be this is the early look and they haven't populated the rest of the people yet. I mean, that's...
To those, though, I would say, like, if you're going to show this as a trailer, we've all seen trailers. And
Anthem.
They're
What the hell
never
happened?
actual gameplay. So you could have faked it if this was your original, if, like, your end goal is. But this game's supposed to come out this year.
Late
So
Fall 2019.
It's got to be, like, it doesn't have to be that close, but it's got to be somewhat close to be done.
The Sapphire Pokemon you were looking for, Dave, I'm going to butcher this name, but it's Kyogre?
Kyogre.
Oh, Kyogre.
K-Y and then O-G-E-R.
Yeah,
That
Kyogre.
that was the whale.
Groudon and Kyogre, yeah. No, I picked Kyogre.
Because
Flying
you
Whale
had
was
to
pretty
choose
dope.
one of those because of the two teams.
Correct. That was the ultimate choice. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, no, I think I'm going in with the expectations of I'm happy to have a legit Pokemon back.
Can't wait. Like,
And,
that is going to be the thing to fucking, like, make me just burn a hole into my Switch.
Yeah, I think that might.
Yeah,
finally
Dave, you got to
push
buy a
me-
Switch now.
That might actually push me into a Switch because up until then, like, I'll have nothing.
Mark's got one. I've got one. You don't have one yet?
I don't have a reason to play the Switch yet. Like, that's the thing. I enjoy my time playing video games, but I don't do it on the Switch, and that's fine.
I'll
but,
be
like,
I've
honest.
been happy with the Switch so far.
I'd be
But
playing
what's your biggest
Switch
time sink on your Switch?
So far, it's been Mario Odyssey.
because that's
Great
what
game.
you got.
Because that was the first game I got.
No,
I mean,
it's
I
a
only
great
really
game.
have 4 games right now.
Yeah.
When I first bought it, I bought Mario Odyssey and Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
And I expect to put a lot of time into Octopath. but
Octopath is a gorgeous game.
yeah, I'm excited
Great
to play
story.
It.
You'll love it. See, that's the thing.
I got
I've
Golf
already
Story.
watched so many of these stupid
Yeah.
games.
Golf Story is a lot of fun.
I don't
so
say
far.
stupid games. That's wrong. I watched a lot of these great games. Golf Story seems like a stupid game in premise, but I'm genuinely intrigued
But
by it
it's-
when you described it to me.
It's a lot of fun. It's an RPG where
Yeah.
you play golf, and then the last one I got Mario Party, which I haven't played yet. But I got that. Mostly, I kind of want. I mean, I like Mario Party games, and you know, when we have people over, we can play it. But I also do say like, this is a good game I can play with my wife.
There you go. If you want to pick a fight, yeah, why don't you just go play Risk while you're at it?
It'll be great.
Like
It'll
maybe
be
some
fantastic.
Monopoly to wrap up the night.
I'd probably kick ass.
What would be a better game if you're going true competition with your wife? We going with Risk or we going Catan? Which
Well,
one's going to
Catan,
be?
because she actually cares about Catan. She wouldn't
Okay.
care about Risk.
Well, no. Which one's going to be like the true?
Which one you got to
like,
start a fight over?
Yeah, exactly. Do you start
Monopoly.
fighting?
She gets pissed at me with Catan all the time because I always mess
Win.
things up.
Oh, okay.
She also doesn't like to play Catan with you. Because
Me?
every time we've played Catan, you have screwed her over at some point.
I love
and she
that.
doesn't
I love
like
that
to
you
play.
know that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not trying to.
But you do it. But that's the thing with a game like Catan is you kind
Yeah.
of fall into those patterns.
I have no goal in Catan but to entertain myself. Like I start off and I'm like, oh, I can almost win this game. I was like, no, I can't win. So let me see how I can shift the balance of
It's
the
like
board.
one time playing Chinese checkers with some cousins, and I put a marble in everybody's
Oh,
spot,
so
their
you're just
end
like,
goal.
"Bam."
So I decided who won, and it was a lot of fun.
I like it,
I
man.
ruined the game for
I
everybody.
think that's a whole thing on game theory that one day we may dip into.
yeah.
But
Does everybody? But I don't want to move on before we say who we would. Who's our pick right now?
I think it's pretty
Score
obvious.
Bunny.
You're going Score Bunny.
I'm either going Score Bunny or Sobel.
I'm going.
I'm probably
Sobel.
going to go
and
Score Bunny.
I'm going Grookey.
I'm going Sobel.
so
I
we're,
want that
we're
grass
each going to have
monkey.
one of the three. You're blue, I'm red, you're green.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like his little leaf hair.
He just,
It's just a little.
I don't know. I think
He's a monkey.
Is that a man bun almost?
Yeah, it is a man bun basically.
I saw him and I was like, he ain't my guy. He
He's
ain't
a-
my dude.
I like
he
them
looks
all
like
right
a
now,
monkey. He looks like a
but
squirrel. He looks like a dog. Like you can take your choice.
He's not my dude, that's for sure.
I'm just going with the most adorable one. Let's be honest. Like he looks so sad, which means
He does.
Hopefully his final form will be pretty badass.
Wouldn't it be fun if it just always disappointed? Like he just got more and more
Oh
sad
no! Oh no!
each time.
Oh no!
By
Is he
the end-
sad or is he anxious?
By the end, he's
A little
just
bit of
like a 24-year-old who didn't get a job in philosophy, even though they majored in it.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Sorry to philosophy majors.
That's hitting a little close to home for some people, I bet.
Probably. I was a political science major, and I don't work in political science, so.
Let's move on. We talked a little bit about Switches. So, Mark, I'm going to change up the order and
Sure.
put you first, even though you didn't want to talk Switches, but you want to talk Star Wars.
Well,
I'm just
I'll
stuck on
talk both.
Switches first, yeah.
I mean, I've really enjoyed my Switch so far, which is fun
Yeah.
because if you listen to this podcast every week, you know I was very much telling Ricky, like, why are you getting a Switch? You're not going to probably do that much with it.
Ricky's
And then,
answer was, I'm going to poop, and I need something to do while I poop.
Yeah.
My sister was like, "Do you want a Switch for Christmas?" I said, "Sure," and she bought me
that's
it.
kind of how mine went too, though, because my wife, I mentioned Link's Awakening. I'm like, oh, it looks awesome. Like, I almost want to buy a
She's
Switch.
like, "Do you want one?"
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, if you want one, I mean, I guess we could buy it. And then they had the $35 thing with the e-coins, and I was like, well, I guess we got to get a Switch now, and then we bought a Switch. And I've been playing. I mean, I haven't touched my PlayStation 4 since before I bought the Switch, really. But I've been having a lot of fun with it. I have yet to play it undocked.
Yeah.
So I have yet to play it as a handheld. I just haven't really had the opportunity to.
I'm the exact opposite. I have not played it docked as much. I usually play it either sitting on my couch undocked, on the shitter, undocked.
I literally refer to that to as the Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I've played it more in undocked mode because the thing I like most about it is when I was playing Red Dead.
Yeah.
I'd played Red Dead. When I would get bored with it, I'd put Red Dead down,
Need that change of pace.
pick up the Switch. I would lay down on my couch and be able to play it while laying down.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate lazy man.
No, I mean,
I can just
You transition
lounge
from
and-
one game to another game like that is my existence. Screen to screen.
I can just play Super Smash and kind of lay down at the same time.
It reminds me, I used to play Madden on the TV, and then I would have Civilization or something on the computer.
Yeah,
and because turn-based game, so play a turn. All right, play some stuff. I'm on defense now. Let's play some things. But yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed this.
Nobody likes defense.
I've got a beautiful TV, so I mean, I like playing on it. It's a wonderful OLED. So yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed the Switch. It's been a fun time. I'm excited to get some more games for it.
You just picked up Octopath. You mentioned. Is there any games coming out in the horizon that have your attention other than Pokemon?
Pokemon will be great. Link's Awakening will be great. Fire Emblem's going to be awesome eventually.
Fire Emblem.
I'm excited for a lot of these 2019 games. It's just that a lot of them, I'm like, well, when's it actually going to come out?
Right. No hard dates.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. I do want to get Ultimate. I do want to get Smash Bros. And then I can answer my own question of how much time do I dedicate into actually unlocking characters or not. We'll
I was
see.
going to say, are you going to be the gracious host and run back and forth for 20-something hours, right, Ricky? That was the...
What?
You have to run back and forth 20-something hours, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to play.
I'm not done completely with it, but it's a nice little... I'm not someone who's like, oh my God, I went in and I have to beat it. It's like, okay, I played a few, I beat a couple, okay, I got this part of the map now revealed.
But you unlocked everybody, right?
Yeah. No,
See,
that was
that's
probably...
what I was saying. The 20-something hours of running.
Oh, yeah, that was the gung-ho-ness, but that was just me. That was me being a jerk to try to get them. Like, you can play the game. Like, Mark's got a wife that he can just play the game with his wife, and eventually,
that's
because they will be running together and, doing that naturally, I was just by myself, so I needed to run back and forth.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to play a lot more on the Switch. To also talk about Star Wars.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this because some hate is coming down from your side of the table.
I'm just pissed off that you get the rights. EA gets the rights to Pokemon to Star Wars. They gave us a shitty version of Battlefront.
Yeah.
Where literally the only thing you had to do was give us Battlefront 2 again. That's all you had to do. You had to just give us the second. I don't even care. They didn't have to make it prettier. I would have played the exact same game. I would have played the exact same game. I do not care. I would have played it.
Wow.
But better graphics would have been nice.
Yeah.
They took away the best game mode, which was Galactic Conquest.
That they did.
That everybody was mad about. The first game sucked. The second game comes out, and it's a little bit better. But what did they still not do? Give us the game mode everybody wanted. They still didn't give us Galactic Conquest. And people were pissed off about that. They changed up enough of the actual battles. We didn't want Battlefront to become Battlefield.
Yes.
Nobody wanted that, but that's what they gave us. And it was just like...
They misread the room by a lot.
They said, well, this game sells pretty well. Let's just do that over here in a Star Wars setting, and it'll work. So, and this is not to just complain about Battlefront. I actually bought Battlefront 2 and I played it for a little bit. It was okay.
But even then,
it didn't
was
scratch the itch, though.
You have to unlock things because they cap out your rewards earnable in a time frame.
Yep.
I remember that on launch was ridiculous. Then obviously the loot box scandals, it was just one folly after another with that game. So now that they had that under their belt, we're like, okay, you can move forward and make a better Star Wars game.
Yeah.
No.
And I got excited for EA to do it just because I remember, some of the past with EA, and they've had good games and all that. But I was just like, all right, someone's got to give us a good Star Wars game.
Yeah.
They could give me 10 shitty Star Wars games, but if someone gives me one that's good, I am happy. I am thrilled.
Yep.
And now we're not getting any Star Wars games. We're getting none. Star Wars should not be that difficult to make good games for.
It
Really?
should be
It
should be the pinnacle of gaming story.
Well,
You
here's
have
the thing.
so many stories that you can
Yes.
tell.
I mean, it depends which universe. If we're counting an expanded universe, sure. But
Give me any.
Well, that's-
give me any story.
Just
thing.
slightly change the expanded universe because it's not real anymore.
yeah, what's canon, what's not anymore.
Just slightly change it, and there we go.
But you have to admit that Star Wars has one of the most passionate fan bases
It
out
does.
there.
It
So
does.
hitting that target is actually really difficult for a company to do. And I know you said, literally, if you just reskinned one of the best-selling games of all time, one of the best-playing games of all time,
Yeah.
we'd be happy. But, Star Wars fans want something that they can connect to. And I think that it's been so
don't-
hard. It's a moving target.
I don't think that the fan base, unless I'm totally misreading the room, I don't think that Star Wars fans would be super upset. Yes, the ones that we got, we haven't been happy with. But like you said, if they just reskinned that, it wouldn't be that bad. Like, Star Wars fans wouldn't be like, oh, well, fuck this. It'd be like, oh my God, I love Star Wars.
Right.
This is amazing.
Right.
And Star Wars fans, I hate to put it this way, but are so used to disappointment
Yeah.
that, you know what, it doesn't matter. You
See-
can give them a crappy game and they're like, oh, another one of these, and they'll just move on. But I mean, there's so many great Star Wars stories, so many kinds of stories you can tell within Star Wars.
Yeah.
All you really have to do is give us a nice RPG, or you give us a hack and slash. That's fine too because they're Jedis. They're just knights.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They just are
they're
ninjas.
gods, basically.
It's not that difficult of a concept. Or you know what? Let us be a smuggler. And now it's just a shooting game. All right, give us a first-person shooter, Han Solo. Whatever. It doesn't have to actually be Han
Just
Solo.
gotta have an episode called Mark Wright Star Wars.
Right?
We could
just,
do that.
Just roll in the
We
It's
can do
Always
that.
Sunny music and Mark Wright Star Wars.
This isn't hard. It should not be that difficult. And that's not to say that making a game's not difficult, because it is.
Yeah.
But
It's incredible.
it should not be that difficult.
How
you
about
call up Timothy Zahn and you say, hey,
But how
we're
do they-
making a game.
How do
you
those
tell
games
us what
make
to do."
money, Mark? That's the question.
It's Star Wars.
No,
They'll
no.
make a ton of money.
No, how do they make money after they've been released?
Oh, that's the loot boxes, DLC, and all that.
that's the golden question. Like you start with that answer, and then you can build a game around
Mass
making
Effect
money.
had a lot of DLC.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you just follow that. I mean, that's a space game for you.
totally.
Right now, BioWare is working on a space game.
We just reskin No Man's Sky.
Yeah, right?
Go from there.
But BioWare is working on a space game that's pretty exciting to me because I'm not going to ever get this Star Wars game I'm looking for. And that's something and I did love seeing that they seeing some stuff from it and seeing the actual dialogue. Like, it's not just all dialogue. It's spoken voice acted. Like, I get to choose my dialogue on there, and that makes me happy.
Well, the thing that upsets me, and I don't know if you've seen this, Mark, so if you haven't, this might upset you, but I read this article 3 weeks ago where apparently Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, had two quotes that I was kind of like, what the fuck, man? Like, what's going on? You're the CEO of Disney. Where number one, he said, we're good at making movies and television shows and theme parks and cruise ships and the like. We're just never managed to demonstrate much skill on the publishing side of games. Which, first off, I'm like, if you see that in Star Wars and you go, oh, we haven't done that, look into why. But then he goes on later to say that, they're happy with the EA relationship and that they're fully committed. And apparently he wasn't aware of any of the drama going on. It's like right there. First
I totally
off, you're
don't
either
believe you.
lying to
Yeah.
our face.
I don't.
Yeah.
because you're the CEO, you should know about that drama. But number two, it's like, really? You're basically telling us, oh, we've never demonstrated the skill for games. I don't care. I don't want to get better with it because you'll buy whatever garbage we throw out there. That is the words coming out of Bob Iger's mouth into my ears.
We're sort of chumps. We're sort of chumps in his mind. Yeah, no, it's super disappointing.
And I said BioWare. I'm thinking Bethesda.
Yeah, I was looking up. I tried to look up, and I was like, I don't know what game
You
you're talking
said BioWare.
I said BioWare, and when I said, I kind of hesitated too. And
I'm like, that's a game.
I'm thinking this wrong, but I'm going with it.
I was like, that's a game, not a.
No, BioWare's a company.
Is
about.
it?
Yeah, BioWare's
Yeah.
a company.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of BioShock.
Yeah, I'm thinking BioShock.
BioShock.
Too many bees.
There are a lot of bees, but here's my thing is just you've got this license. I mean, they have completely failed on it.
Mark, I think we do
in
it
so many ways.
We're gonna have an episode where we write Star
And
Wars.
I was gonna say let's do it like in a couple weeks. Get our ideas set.
Now, I actually like Star Wars. What are we at? 7 and 8. Yeah, I actually like Star Wars 7 and 8. I think they're both fine. They're not amazing, but I think they're fine. Han Solo, I thought was okay. I didn't hate it, but it was just for what it was. It was fine.
Dave and I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I went in full expectations.
They go and they basically just, to a lot of fans, made them mad. But they just they did enough to where they said, well, we're not making Star Wars anymore, or we'll give you 9 and that's about it. Like they canceled all these things they had planned. They canceled all the video games they had planned.
Yeah, but they're gonna give us Disney Plus series.
They've essentially ruined.
But once Star Wars
so
9 comes out, and if it hits, then it's all back on the table again. It's just they had a couple whiffs, and you gotta ease back on the gas pedal. You can't throw all your money into that burning furnace.
It's just one of those things where right now I'm sitting there saying you spent a ton of money to acquire this license, and you barely done anything.
And
with
I
it.
know this is not the gaming side, but I'll throw out that they do have 3 projects on. I know it's the Disney Plus streaming side.
Yeah.
But
streaming doesn't count. To me.
Well, Favreau's it's a Metachlorian, I think is what it's called. Yeah. There's a series that he's developing.
That's a good way to piss off Star Wars fans. Talk about midichlorians.
I'm probably wrong on the name, but it's a Favreau who's happy in Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's directing and producing a Star Wars series. They're going to give us one on the Rogue One story, like a prequel to Rogue One.
One's awesome.
And then they're going to give us an Obi-Wan, like 6-episode Obi-Wan series.
You can't go wrong with Obi-Wan. Well, you
can
go wrong.
Can.
You can't go wrong.
Totally can.
You just need to cast a certain one person.
Yeah.
And you're fine.
And then you'll be great. Yeah, and that's just the thing. I feel like, and part of it is what Ricky said. You cannot win with Star Wars fans. You really can't.
That's what I said.
And
I was on the other side.
On the other side. I said you can't win with Star Wars
What
fans.
Dave said is right. You can't win with Star Wars fans. They're going to be mad.
The expectations are through the roof. It's because we've had so much time to dive into this lore, to dive into this universe, to establish those connections. It's like, unless we get something truly new, truly self-standalone, impressive, it's like, yes, this is a legendary story, and it's like, throw in the background things of like, oh, and look, there's this thing there's this thing to help establish that you're in the same universe. That's the kind of shit that they need to do, and I'm genuinely excited to do a Let's Do Star Wars. Too Old to Game does Star Wars. But let's quickly move into Ricky and his Kingdom Hearts 3 overview, whatever you want to call it.
I beat the game. Right now it's all about getting all the... First, since it's an easy platinum, I'm going to do that.
Everything's an easy platinum.
But I have to
sure.
get enough of the lucky emblems because I still have to get the secret ending. So I did the ending. By the way, spoilers for anybody who hasn't played. I'm probably going to spoil some stuff. The ending was phenomenal to me. I really liked the ending. There's only one thing that got me mad, and this is just I couldn't tell if I was just bad at Kingdom Hearts or if it was really like a design flaw. I felt like this game was like, oh, steady pace. There's a good amount of save points throughout the game. Then they hit me with like the final world.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, like there's a lot here. I'm like, I just want a break, but I can't take a break because there's no fucking save points. Then the final boss.
It's a cheap way to amp up the difficulty.
I shit you not. I had to take on a group
we're not playing this on the
Switch. A group of, let's say, 10 guys at one time. So that's one phase. Then I had to take on the boss in 3 phases just to knock off his armor.
Right.
Then another 3 phases just to beat him in total.
Good.
No saving
Good.
from the start of that.
That's such a
fight.
Square
And there's
Enix type of thing to do.
there's a part of me that it's like I wasn't mad that I had to like go all the way through that. I was kind of a little mad that I wasn't set up for it, even though I should have expected it because it's a Square Enix thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
But like there was a conundrum in my head because there was a part of me that was like, this is totally not what I signed up for at the beginning of the like. It's like pampering me throughout the entire game, which is a side note that I've seen many people bash on this Kingdom Hearts.
To cruise through?
It's way too easy to where I'm like, I get to this final boss and it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
How many
here?
tries did it take you?
It took me, so night 1, I got to the last part because the good thing that they do is each phase.
Yeah.
So I beat phase 1. If I die on phase 2, luckily I don't have to go all the way to the beginning.
That's bullshit. You are still pampered.
That would have been like, because they made it really difficult, which I'm
care.
not mad.
I'm used to Final Fantasy, man.
I'm not mad that they made it difficult. Like I like that, but it's like after a while, it felt like ramming my head into a wall.
Yup.
To where I'm like,
Gotta do something different.
I'm like, I'm going to put it down. And the thing that made me super upset was I turned off my PlayStation.
Really?
I came back the next night and I had to do all the phases over. And I was like,
go.
fuck. So
That's what I
I
was
did
hoping
it and eventually I beat it, but the payoff was there. Like the story, they're setting up you can tell they're setting up another game, whether that's Kingdom Hearts 4, whether that's a game on the DS or over here or over there.
Yeah.
It's their
and then
choice.
the DLC.
Well, the DLC, apparently there's going to be little story things that kind of fill in the gap of what's going on. But the big one is that we're going to get a critical mode. So everyone who is like, the game's not hard enough, here, you're going to get your hard difficulty for
Wonderful.
Because I wasn't really like, it wasn't like Cuphead to me. I wanted to enjoy the story and get through it. By the way, Pirates of the Caribbean world sucked. It was the worst world out of all of them.
What was your fave?
My favorite would have had to be either Monsters, Inc. or Toy Story.
See, I love that I was so happy. Going into this, I was like, Ricky, you got to go Toy Story. Like I had watched through
Big Hero 6 wasn't
worlds.
bad.
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 wasn't bad.
Big Hero 6.
Frozen was good just because
It's such a great movie.
the thing about Frozen though is they're like, oh, we got Idina Menzel for the voice. We're just gonna let you watch Let It Go. We're letting you
Frozen?
watch the full Let It Go scene
she just sang
in
the whole...
PlayStation, like the entire scene from the movie.
Nice.
In PlayStation graphics with Idina Menzel, which I'm like, all right, it's Idina Menzel, but it's like, was this truly needed? I know the song.
I've heard the song enough. I don't need to hear it one more time.
But I mean...
But you just couldn't let it go?
No, I couldn't let it go. But yeah, I would say the Monsters, Inc. was my favorite, followed by Toy Story.
Nice.
The Toy Story one was just good. The Pirates one, I hated the boat stuff. It brought back Vietnam flashbacks of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's what it truly did.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Ricky. Thank you.
I'm glad that it didn't disappoint you, though.
Yeah.
No,
because
it wasn't a huge flaw.
I have 5 people at work who've played it. 3 of them are disappointed with the game.
Really?
3.
It's just the expectations again. I mean,
we
it's
waited
just that
this
you
long,
had
and this
so
is what we
long.
got. This is all we got.
I mean,
It's hard to win.
because the thing that the thing, how do I want to phrase it without saying the thing?
There's no way
Because
you
at
can.
at the beginning,
Yes.
you get Melissa. So
It's one of those things.
you get thrown into the Olympus. Like that's where you start.
Yeah.
So they throw you into World right away. And Melissa fit with Pete is like, we got to find this black box. Mm-hmm. And right away you're thinking, what is this black box? Then they throw a curveball at you in the Pirates of the Caribbean version because the story is Davy Jones. So Davy Jones has his heart in a box. So they're like, ooh, is this the black box that we're supposed to look for? Eventually you complete the world and you find out, nuh-uh, this ain't the black box that we're looking for. Then at the very end when you beat the game, so I think his name is Zigbar. He's kind of like Xehanort's right-hand man. Mm-hmm. He's the one that's like, yeah, when Xehanort's all done with this stuff, he promised me his Keyblade. And Riku, I think it was Riku, was like, yeah, you're not going to be the one wheeling that. He's like, yeah, we'll find out. He calls back some of the elders, and they're like, well, what'd you call us here for? And he's got the box. And it's basically like, oh my God, what's in the box? And then you see Melissa. Then you see Melissa.
What's in the box?
Then you see Melissa, Fint, and Pete like, all right, it's going down. And it's like, oh my God, it's going down. And plus, Sora's got to find Kyrie. Or Kyrie's heart.
Yeah.
Because she got dead.
Got dead.
So what was in the box?
They don't tell you.
Oh.
You got to find out. That's what they're setting up, I'm assuming, in a future
They ended
game.
on a what's in the box.
That's...
Unless the secret ending mentions something like
I've
that.
got storytelling issues with that. That's too much. That's too much promising and set up to not give it to you.
You start the game with the question of the box.
Yeah,
and you end the game and you don't know what's in the box.
What's in the box?
That's too much.
That's a lot to hang out
What's
there.
in the box?
Yeah. That's 5 seasons of what the fuck is this island, and then
like
you end
Lost.
and you're like, oh, well, that's my
Yeah.
You end
He's
and
going there.
Okay.
Oh, it was what I thought at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That was a waste.
12 minutes into the show, I knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I was hoping I was going to be pleasantly surprised.
Side note about Lost, though.
Yeah.
They wanted to end the show sooner than they did.
They did. Yeah.
But I
You could
think
tell by their almost endings.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm watching a documentary on Netflix, quick aside, about the 2000s. And the guy who was one of the writers for Lost is like, yeah, we wanted to end it here. They wouldn't let us.
It was
so
too
he's
good.
like, when critics would be like, yeah, you can kind of tell it's like they feel trapped on the show. He goes, yeah, we wrote it that way because we literally felt trapped writing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. All right. And I'm just going to wrap it up with a quick note. Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Yeah, and the day I buy it, Dave, because I'm like, oh, Dave's going to...
You should have consulted.
I'm like,
Why do you
Dave's been
buy
playing
it?
Anthem.
We
Like,
have been talking
Consult
shit
it.
about Anthem. Maybe it's just me. I've been talking shit about Anthem for
I've been
months.
acknowledging it wasn't going to be very good.
I'm assuming it's going to get better.
And that's the thing. So I bought it, played it on release date. It was great. And by great, I mean it was bugged. And then I kept playing it and it was bugged. And then I kept playing it and there's still some bugs. But it's getting better. And one of the things I do want to acknowledge is that they sort of are working really well with community. I think the best thing they've done is their devs are in direct contact with the community and they're getting that feedback and they're changing the game based on that feedback pretty quickly, to be damn honest with you. I don't know if it was stuff that they already had some feedback they were sitting on, so they're like, let's make a good PR impression. Within the first 2 weeks of launch, we're going to have patches after patch to make sure that this game gets better. But it seems like they open ears and they understand there are problems with the game and they're trying to make it better. From a gameplay standpoint, I think I've had a couple of pure clean play sessions without bugs, which is great. It feels really smooth. I have no problems. They're still working on balance. It's a big thing because obviously it's the randomization system of their items kind of makes it hard. So it's like you're going to get a gun, but it'll have these two like adjustments to it. So you'll either have like reload speed percentages or, armor percentages, some like all these modifiers. And you're basically rerolling the same device or same item to try to get the best modifiers possible. Gets a little frustrating when you can't get the ones that you need. And it's it builds up. Because there's no guarantee you're going to get there. And you just keep doing it. And you keep doing it. And you keep rolling and keep going. And it just gets to that point where you're like, fuck this shit.
Like, fuck it, I like these.
No, because it's like I've defaulted back like an entire like couple item levels because like I can't get the modifiers make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
So they're trying to balance it. Interceptor endgame, they know it's not good. They know it's bad. So they're working on that. But I mean, the shit you can do is beautiful. Like I swear to God, this guy has to have like 12 fingers. The way he's playing this character on PC, like it's just the fluidity of
Flip,
combat.
turn, shoot.
It's the fluidity of combat. It's like Legolas on steroids. Like it is just it's motion and magic, and it's awesome. And I think that's one thing that they really did nail down. But they've got so far to go. Like they need to get you a lot more content to play because it gets stale quick.
So does it survive past Division 2?
Division 2 beta is this upcoming weekend, I believe, which is scaring the hell out of me because it's not a game that I'm super interested in, but I'm a little interested in. I'm like, well, how's the water over there? Is the grass any greener on that side?
I'll see how the beta goes
always
with that
is.
one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. But I'm going to give the credit. The devs are taking responsibility for EA, pushing a game out that maybe needed another couple months of dev time, if some people have mentioned for, I don't know, the last two to 6 weeks.
The thing I find funny, though, is it's like you look at EA where it's like, oh, let's really push this Anthem game, and it comes out and flops. But then you see Respawn, where it's like, hey, you didn't know we were working on this game, and surprise, it's here, and then it's amazing.
Also owned by EA.
Is it? Oh, that's right. It was owned by EA.
Yeah, so EA doesn't care. They're making
EA
money
is
no matter
like,
what.
hey, we're making money on.
Well,
I
here's the
forgot that
thing.
Respawn and
They
EA
couldn't care
was
less about
under
Anthem
that
if it
umbrella.
flops.
Yeah, I mean they get money everywhere, and that's the thing. You can't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to beat them is not play the games,
Which
which
is
is an important
everything.
message.
Which is an option.
It's an important message, and honestly, as a gamer, like it's yet again, pre-orders are traps. Quit doing it.
As Ricky on this podcast said, he's going to pre-order Pokemon.
Pokemon's the one game where it's like,
And then I agree that
you're
going to
get your money's worth out of Pokemon because you know at the base level, this is every Pokemon game ever in existence, and I've played 30 of them, and they're all the same.
And to
you
be
know?
honest, the last 2 games I pre-ordered were Spider-Man and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, you're pretty fucking spoiled. So 2019, we got a lot of great games. Hold your breath on EA stuff. Apex doing awesome. Credit to them. They're still growing. They're still incredibly powerful. Like wave of motion behind it.
Also,
so.
I hear that Red Dead DLC is coming out.
Yeah, no
soon.
one cares about that game.
I saw it.
Straight
and I
up
was like,
online play was just trash.
I
and
saw
it was,
the DLC and
how
I'm
it
like,
happens.
It had a picture of Sadie Adler. I'm like, if it's about Sadie, I might come back.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm probably not. So here's the thing: like they try to make online play like, oh, you could do all these cool things, and it's like, oh, maybe in a couple months. Well, it'll be soon. It'll be soon. And now it's like 3 months in. Like we're finally getting to the point where we can do stuff. Great, your audience left.
And that's exactly how GTA 5 was for me for online.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto Online. It's just it never got to the level anybody wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And there's people who love it, and that's great, but
That
There's, like,
sandbox has so
huge
much
communities.
potential, but I
Yeah.
just feel like they just take a lot of liberties or cop-outs, in my mind, with what they could potentially do.
And it's also, it just bugged me so much. I never got an actual GTA style mission
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
It's just race, deathmatch. That's it.
Yeah, no. So it is it's a bit disappointing. But Ricky, we'll have to see Anthem. I think you will be happy to play it eventually.
So should I just return it?
I don't
I
know
vote
if you
yes.
want to drop I don't know if you want to drop time into it yet.
Because you could just return
Should
it.
I just return
it and then get
Buy
a
it
game,
when it's
get a
cheaper.
different game. Yeah, and buy it when it's cheaper.
Yeah,
If
I
Fallout
would say that.
76 is any indication,
No.
you can buy it for $10
Oh
in
yeah,
about
I
a
was
week.
like, that you're suggesting Fallout 76. I was like, no.
No,
Yeah,
just
I would say
sell it and
return
get
it for
something
now.
else.
I would say return if you still can.
Because I have not opened it.
Yeah, return it. Go get a different game. Come back in a month or two when it's $40.
Oh man, what other game would I want right now?
Oh, lots of opportunities, lots of questions. Well, maybe there'll be some on the Switch you can jump some time into.
There you go. That'd be fun.
I got Breath
Use
of
your
the Wild.
Switch.
I still need to play on the Switch.
Yeah, what the hell? Don't buy any games. Go play Breath of the Wild.
That.
I just saw Anthem. I'm like, oh, you know what? Dave's been playing it. Maybe Dave needs someone to play with. Now that
I
I'm playing
would
Kingdom
have
Hearts.
appreciated that, but it's already gone past. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait.
Dave's
it out.
like, I'm already Ricky. You missed the Destiny bubble.
You
I
did.
am already
did.
out of this game.
I'm not out. I'm just waiting for it to hit that. Like I said, I've been playing it over the time. It's just I'm waiting for it to hit that point where I'm actually enjoying my time and I see a future there.
Until Borderlands drops, and Dave goes, "Bye, Anthem."
Until Borderlands drops, and then when Borderlands drops, it's until World of Warcraft Vanilla comes out. At which point,
We're not going to see Dave.
At which point,
Yeah.
Dave no longer is on the fast break. Dave's no longer on too old to game. Dave's no longer leaving
You're
his
just gonna have
house.
to put a laptop there, and then Dave's gonna be
Dave's-
So he's
playing
going
it,
to be
but he's
Sheldon.
gonna be
He's
skyping
going to be
in.
Sheldon Cooper.
Dave's gonna be work from home for a
I
long
don't know,
time.
maybe.
Sheldon was the one that had the little
Oh, he had-
iPad with the robot. That
See,
had the
your,
tablet
your problem
traveling.
is that you know anything about the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
I mean, I watched a couple episodes.
I
feel
watched
like
a
you
couple
still
episodes
watch.
not by choice, and I was really mad about it.
That's seasons ago. That's years ago that Sheldon did that.
what
though.
season are they up to these days?
The last one, I don't know. It's done.
Is it really?
This
They
is the
ended
last
it?
season, yeah.
Wow.
Let me
It's
see.
the last season.
I feel like it was like it had to be 10 years, right?
Probably. Yeah, they had to have made at least 8 seasons of that show.
Whew.
Um,
We can't end on this question mark. We can't know. We can't not
he's
know what's in
looking
the
it up.
box.
I'm looking it up.
I dated a girl for
in
a
the
brief
box?
period of time that watched that
12
show.
seasons.
And I honestly was like, I don't know if I can do this if we're
Purely
gonna
because
watch.
of that?
I'm like, if we're gonna watch this show all the time,
If this is
and
gonna be our
and
thing.
I can't talk shit about it while we watch it, I don't think I can.
Well, like
watch
Ricky's
this.
thing was like How I Met Your Mother. Like
Yeah.
that was a good show.
See, but I got into that one later.
until a while, and it was
Yeah,
the
until
worst
it
show of
wasn't.
all time.
I got into that one on Netflix and then only watched it on real TV the last, 2 seasons? The last season?
and that's a shame because it was terrible at the
Yeah.
end.
So
But
completely ruined
yeah,
it.
Big Bang first
Bang.
aired September of 2007 when we were juniors and Mark was a
Although,
sophomore.
The thing that was cool but also upset me, I saw Bare Naked Ladies in concert, and that was a weird thing to say in concert, but I saw them live, and they played the Big Bang theme song, and I'm like, oh, that's right, they wrote that.
Absolutely, they
And
did.
like, it's their song. They should totally play it, and it's
Yeah.
actually a good song.
It is.
But I'm sitting
but
there
it's
and I'm
forever
like,
associated.
I don't like this.
I'm
Like, I
sorry.
don't like that I'm enjoying this song right now.
Forever unclean.
Pretty much.
Yes. All right. On that wonderful note, that will wrap it up.
Yeah, the Sheldon Cooper.
Oh, now you're
Wait,
ruining
wait,
it.
wait.
I thought we were getting out of here without.
No. I got one thing. The Sheldon Cooper tablet reference.
Yeah.
Do I know when that episode came out, Mark?
2006.
2010.
All right.
9 years ago.
That's still a little bit.
It was it's almost a decade old.
Thanks.
If you enjoy this content and want to donate some money to us, thank you, you poor bastards. If you would like to join us on one of these episodes where we meander around gaming and history for about an hour, you are absolutely welcome to. If you hit us up on Patreon, you hit that $10 tier, you could be on here right with us, talking to us every month. But thank you guys so much. For Mark, for Ricky, I've been Dave Oster. We'll catch you next time.